Why hello and welcome back to another episode of Voice of the Rings. I'm your hosting guide, Zollin Ironshield. And today, my friends, I want to tell you an update of the 2.0, the new HUD. Okay, the new HUD that they've made and updated. I'm going to walk you through it really quick in like less than 10 minutes, okay? I'm going to walk you through the whole HUD. If you're a brand new player, what do all the buttons mean? You know, what do I do? You know what I mean? What if you're someone who just came back after several seasons? You're like, why does the HUD look so different? That's what this video is for you guys, okay? So I'll try to run through it, what every button means and what it does real fast, okay? So let's just start with the area that I'm not covering. So we'll start at the top left. So first things to know is that's where the ring power is. Now you click that. This is the same as it was before, okay? The ring HUD, it's the exact same. They've done some updates on the abilities a little bit, but pretty much overall it's the same. So I'm gonna talk about where things are. Obviously you have to click upgrade when you get a certain amount of points for your ring. Up there in the top is where you'll see your ability points, right? The 30 that you always kind of get to use. The reset button is still down here behind my screen right there in the corner, all right? And going out. Also, something that people maybe don't realize is that red line around the ring also tells you your total points, even though it's not a number. I kind of would have personally preferred that number that's up there to maybe be placed in that empty area right up there or somewhere near the ring. But, you know, if you use some power points, so let's say I'm just gonna use wait, let me just use a ring power on this guy. I'll use this ability. Okay, I'm gonna take 10 of my points. Now if you notice, see how the ring orange went away? 10 of them out of that ring orange. That's what that is. Okay, next thing, where do you find your profile and stuff? Your picture up there in the top left, and you click that. That is back. This is the same. Okay, this is the same interface, but really quick running over it here. I always like to say running over it instead of like, it's not really the right term, but I say that a lot on this channel. I know I get giggles out of you guys. Okay, so up there in the top left is your account management stuff and information. Okay, so you know your ID to join things and stuff like that. Again, that's not really private information. You don't have to hide that from anybody. It's your account. So and then it's the same numbers as right here. You can click this to change your icon, right? If you're a new player, this is where you can change your icons that you earn. You just click straight on it. You can change your little bios here, or whatever you want to say. I obviously just say that it's me, Voice of the Rings on YouTube. You can click this little button here to change it. This is all your previous rewards of every season you've gotten, okay? Down here is whatever village you're in. This is how you get to the village, okay, from your profile. And then there's a help button here and a settings button and some information, okay? So real simple stuff. Now up at the top left, the next one going over is your ring power per hour. You can click on it. You can see where you're getting your ring power per hour. That charges your ring over time for levels, right? Y'all get that. You know that. Now you click up here on this to get to your lands. This is where you can delete lands. It only takes 5 minutes now to delete a land with the update. So that's kind of cool. So this is basically all your locations and lands you own and base. And there's a filter you can use here if you want to find certain things or remove certain things if you're working on stuff. That kind of stuff. Very nice. Up here at the top, you can again click on that. Those are all your resources, incomes, right? Another thing that's fun, again, is that little circle around each resource. You can see I'm maxed out with my stone and iron right now, which I will use, so I'm not getting any new. And this kind of gives you a breakdown of where you're getting those resources from. When you click on any of those, it's all kind of one thing. Again, your gems, top right corner, that's just your in-game money. We have, then if we go to these 3 buttons that are up underneath the top banner, we have this one, which brings you to the social media thing that they have in-game that you can bring up and look at, okay? There's a button down here to get rid of it right behind me, and there's some like buttons there you can use to refresh and things like that, but it's not really that super important. This one is your store button. This is how you get to the store and things if you're going to purchase things, blah, 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 or your free daily thing right here, right? That's that one. And then, of course, you have this one, which is some information, basically, of the game and things you can join and stuff. So not super duper important for the gameplay. Now let's talk about the left side of the screen. Okay, so this is my favorite thing that they've added in this new HUD layout. Okay, oh, you know what, one thing I forgot right up here again, when you move the screen around, you get the mini radar map. See the mini radar map? So there is one thing I would recommend is that when you move around, you could toggle that to be more of maybe on all the time instead of just moving. And also, it's not as see-through, because as much as that's cool, I mean, look how see-through it is compared to my base. Like it's helpful, but not like really helpful. The previous radar map was far superior. Now, pretty much, you just have to click, you know, go to your map, which would be down there in the bottom left in a minute. We'll talk about that. So radar, but let's go back over to the left side there. And basically we have here is 2 different buttons. It opens up. The top one is your armies and controls, and you can pull it up and down with your finger. I'm using a mouse because I'm on an emulator, but you can just use your finger, right, to go up and down it. I love this, okay? You can actually click on these buttons to reinforce. So this guy's already out in the field, so, and then down here, when you click that, if I go out of the way here for a second, you can reinforce. There's also a button right above that says heal commanders. Let's say you don't want to use up your healing because it charges up over time. This is a new thing in the system, right? You have to heal your commanders now. I could unclick that, right? But in this case, they're not wounded, so I don't care either way. So I'm going to send us a few troops. You can see each one's going to get a small group of troops to replenish what they lost. Now, that does cost stamina now to reinforce if they're not at the base. So sometimes you want to bring them back reinforced to save stamina. You can also go to this button if they're in base, and you can go to this screen, right? This is not as new. I already talked about this in a previous video. This is a new layout, but same thing. You can kind of drag this at the bottom to look and add armies, kind of like the side was. And you can click this button to instantly reinforce them if they're at the base and refill their, replenishment. Then if you left click on them, each one you can directly see the commander. Choose what commander by drag and dropping. You can like replace, right, a commander if you wanted to. And then you can also left click on the commander to go to the tree that you normally would. Their normal spot, right? Their tree and their armor and stuff. You can do that from here. Then you click this next button in the bottom right corner. You can also click this to kind of go between the commanders on the left side here, which is kind of nice. But there's a button down here. Again, you can see it. There it is. I'm going to click that button. And this is where you can drop, add, and change the troops that each formation has. Okay? I have separate videos on this. And then once you've chosen, that's the word, chosen, your troops, you click the check mark down here in the bottom right. Okay? And you're set. All right, but we're not going to go into that any more than that right now. I'll have a separate thing on that. But see, that will take you directly, if they're at your base, to that. And you can also click this, and it'll take you to the same spot to build a new army, if you have room for another army, right, depending on your barracks size. Now, if you click that button on the far left that's in between after you've, like, done your work here, you click that, and it goes back to this. Now, a nice thing is there's always this little bar here that you can also drag with whoever's out on the field, okay? So you can kind of go, oh, where's this guy? Oh, there's my, okay. Okay, there he is, right? You can kind of like look around and click them to get to them quickly. That's kind of nice. And then another nice thing is this button right here, below the one we had, is the one where you get to doing you can see your construction, what's being constructed. I don't have anything being constructed right now, so if I click plus, it'll take me straight to this, which is the same as it's always been. So I don't really need to talk about this, but you can construct things, right? And when you go out, you can go out like normal. But then there's also the conscription, right? Your conscription queues. You can go and conscript people, right? While you're doing stuff and choose your thing. This has been redone a little bit, so let me just talk you through this real quick. So basically, you can go up and down with this, right? And click these things to go to different size units. Okay, so in the game now, there's small, medium, and large units. But in this case, I don't have any large units, so it just takes you, there's the medium units, there's all my smaller units, and then, I guess my large units are down here. Yeah, there they are. But anyway, I don't know why it's inverting that. Oh, you know what? Excuse me, I inverted it. The 3 are the small, this is the medium, and this is the large. That's why it's doing it backwards. I just assumed being higher, but, so it always starts with the small at the top one. That's interesting. The filter button up here on the top right, okay, this is really important. Again, you can do those small, medium, large units, filters, the tier of the unit you want, all right, and then the, attack, range, melee or ranged units, and then obviously all the different creatures and races. I'm gonna do tier 4 filter, so these are all tier 4 units, and I'm just gonna hire some eagles, all right, and some more horses. There we go, boom, right? So that's pretty cool. You also have this button down here in the bottom left. If you click that one, it'll take you to the old barracks. This is how it always used to look. And if there's a certain unit you don't want, like the marksman that I hired that are tier 2, you click the subtract button in the bottom right here. It brings this up. You can drag over what you don't want. It'll say disband, and you click the check mark down here behind me. And you say, okay, I don't want those. And then you have more room in your barracks. I usually recommend don't doing that unless you just need to hire more people and have more room. Look at this Gondorian soldier. He's like walking along the wall. That's kind of cool. So anyway, that's pretty much that. So now if we go back over to the left again, pretty much we've gone through this whole thing except for the fact that the bottom is treatment, which is your hospital. It's just saying when things are going to be done. It's basically just extra info there. So you're pretty much done. And by the way, you can click anywhere on the screen and that will go away, that left side thing. So anyway, I love that addition. It is so nice. Now, I really want RiseToWar to add a thing where I can click the help button for my kingdom or my fellowship, not from in here. I want it to pop out of here, the little help button, like above it. But anyway, we won't worry about that. Now let's look at the bottom left real quick. We've covered this side, that side, and then we're going to look at this bottom left corner. We have this button, which will always take you back to your base, okay? So this is the classic, you lost your base, click this button, okay? The next one over to the right is the map, okay? This brings you up to the map. The map is the same as it's been for many seasons. I don't think I need to explain it again. I can make a separate guide video, but you can click the minus to go up, the plus to twice to go in, to see things. And again, if you'd like a guide video explaining the map, let me know in the comments. I will have a separate one, but I'm pretty sure I already made one in the past with the map and it hasn't really changed very much. So now you have this button here, which is pins. Okay, it's called pins. This really helps you kind of know where things are. It'll tell you where your forts are, where your neutral bases are, things that are just already pinned, and locations, conflicts that are happening. Those are the automatic pins that happen when there's a big war. The game will place a pin, right? If we go back to the map again, those are these things, right? These big pins that have little like swords across them, okay? That's what those are. And then if you go into, and then if you have your own pins that you made, right? Or your team. So user, these are my own pins that I made. So I pinned my alternate account right there, my other account, it's my alt. And I also pinned this tile, which is probably a misclick, so I'm gonna delete that pin. But this is pretty cool. That's where you can see all your pins. And then you have this, which is a little search button. This is the old search button that was by the radar originally in the top left. So you click this, you can search for bosses, mobs, certain tiles you use. This is the same as before, so I don't really need to explain this too much, but use this to find the tile you want to search for. Any tile, wood tiles, stone. And you can also turn this power button on the bottom left there off and on, and it'll actually show you, you know, the number of powers on the tiles or not. That's good for people who are maybe new, or the new map that you're like, what the heck is what everything looks so different. You can use that to kind of help find tiles. Or if you want it off so it just looks nice, you can leave it off, right? If you don't want the numbers. So that's how that works. So that's pretty much it for this one. You can find mob camps that you want to try to find in your area and that kind of stuff. It still matters on where your camera is kind of based to find things. And sometimes I think it matters where your main base is. Now below that, we have two buttons. We have this button at the bottom left, or if you just anything you click on, the words, or this button here on the left that has a little bag end button. It's just your social talking with everyone, right? We got our village here, Voice of the Rings, my team, you know, fellowship, world chat, all the chats, right? And then if you click this button over here, it's the same as before. You can have direct conversations with people, and you can click these three buttons right above Gandalf there, okay? And this is where you'd find your friends list, you know, add people, block people if you need to, that kind of stuff. Gandalf down there, if you click on Gandalf, he gives you information, all right? You can actually type things, and it will be Saruman if you're an evil side account, but they will help guide you. They're just like automated computer AI things, right? Even though AI is misused anyway, because AI is not the AI that we knew what AI meant 15 years ago. But now AI is just computer computing, but never mind. We won't go there. I think it's funny how everyone calls everything AI now. It's like, guys, it's not really AI according to the original definitions, but that's okay. AI was supposed to be sentient computer technology, not just algorithm learning. But anyway. Moving on, it's supposed to be like Cortana or Data from Star Trek. It's not supposed to be just a computer learning what you like through input, output, but it's okay. That's how all computers work. So there is some gray line there. So bottom left talked about. Now let's talk about right here. I'm gonna have to go away for a second for you to be able to see this. So I'm gonna put the camera off for a second here. There we go. So let's start with this button here on the top, this little folder. You click this. This is where you see your tracker, where you earn points slowly, and you earn stuff as you go. Oh, wow, look at that. I earned a bunch. Oh, actually, I guess I just finished. Okay, cool. I guess it's because the end of the season, I just finished. And then one over here on the other. This is really nice if you completed things. This is just basically free stuff. You go in here and you can accept free things. This is a newer thing. As you achieve things, you'll get free gems and free stuff. It's really cool little addition to the game. So that's where you find these two things. And then you have, of course, your alerts, messages. This is the same as before, right? And what you've earned as you go, and all these things. And then you can say Marcus Red up there if you want, filter certain things. Announcements from the dev teams. All that stuff is right here. Fellowship mail, okay? Now if we go down here to the bottom, of course we have the Matham house here on the bottom right. That's kind of the same as it's always been. Oh, look, my daily roll. Who wants to see my, let's do it for fun. Nope, nothing? Nothing. Okay, that's all right. So basically this is that. We have some new buttons here we have to run through real quickly. So again, this is the Matham regular chests, okay? This right here is where the respect tree is now. It is slightly different. You kind of can click this thing to move around, or drag with your finger to go left, right, and down and up, or you can go back and just click on a different region. All right, that's how you get to all the respect for your characters and give them respect and things like that. This is something you can come in daily now, this button, and just earn these and click claim. There's also something right here. This is where you can actually now do more mission things and earn more. I have not done them yet. Maybe I'll do it with a video later for you guys. We also have this here, which is where you respect convert. So there's two buttons here at the top, and then there's buttons on the side. Okay, so there's a lot of buttons here. So let's just go through it really fast. All right, so this one is how you exchange your fine respect things and the purple respect and the gold ones for different respect items. And they do refresh every week or something. We go to the next one down. This is also where you can, when you earn these from bartering and getting rid of certain things, it'll say if you click plus up here, these actually, if you grind down certain items, it'll give it to you. But let's wait to, oh, wrong button. Let's wait to talk about that for just a second here. So that's basically what this one is. This one right here is where you can turn in gems to just get coins and mithril. It's a extra spot, I guess, to get it. This is where you convert your purple mithril you get from tips into gold mithril. Okay, so you can actually see I can convert a mithril, combine my mithril I've earned in tips, and I got another gold mithril. All right, pretty simple. This is where you do a lot of your converting stuff. This can be very handy if you're trying to get certain respect items, but if you're grinding down some respect items, which is this next one, okay, this is where you item recycling. You can grind down certain items to get those purple things, or those blue ones, or those gold ones. And remember, only gold will give you gold commanders back, and only purple will do purple. You get the point, right? It's a 1 to 10 ratio, so you are going to be losing stuff. But if there's one character you really don't care about and you have a ton of their respect and you'd rather, convert, let's say, I don't know, Celeborn's respect into Gimli or Theoden or something, you could grind his down and then go over to this one and go and find Gimli or Theoden's respect and get them, okay? So that's how you use those buttons. This button here is how you grind down equipment. This is where you will get your gold and silver ingots that you can use in the new market system, which we'll cover real fast. We're almost done. I thought I'd be able to do this in 10 minutes, but not quite. You could also click this button to kind of look around the shop, which is that bottom left arrow thing there. All right, so now let's go to the next thing down here. We have the tavern. It's the same as before. This top right button will convert from good side to evil side tips if you want to switch it. And then you go through here, you accept all the tips, and then they'll be on the field to do. And then over here, you can kind of see you have your daily sweeping experience that you can earn and your other tips, right, as you go. You can also earn ingots from this to turn in from things and respect, right, of certain characters. So that's the same as before. We have Commander Tap button, which is exactly the same as it was before, so I don't even need to go through this. I already have a video on how all these things work, so we're not going to worry about this. Also, by the way, there's another button like in the Matham shop down here in the bottom right. There's a filter button, and there's also the one to get to the respect. Same spot. All right. And then we have Kingdom Tab. All right, we'll run through this one real quick. I've talked about this one in the past, but this is where you get to boosts to help your fellowship. This is important to know. So you go in here and you can, do your daily helping, level up your fellowship. This tells you about your significant structures and what they give you, blah, blah, blah. You can see the diplomacy of your kingdom, who you're friendly with, or hostile, or neutral, with that button. And then kingdom affairs, right? You can see who your teams are, and territories, and there's a bunch of cool things in here. I could have a whole separate video on that. War declarations. Yeah, this always, when you go to these pages, you can find the leader of the group here when you click on that name. And this is where you'll help, you know, the help button will be here to help when you, to get respect, basically, or to get your daily coins, which you can then spend in the store here, which is very important. No? All right, you can purchase things in here with your earned coins, contribution coins there. All right, so now the next one over, we have items, which is exactly the same as it's been since the beginning of the game. So we're not going to talk about that one, but that's where the item button is now. We have season. This is basically where you accept the seasonal for everybody as you're earning things. Again, our season just finished pretty much. Your target, this is the same as it was before, what you have to do to earn certain things to get your certain achievements if you click on the circle there, okay? And then the next one over is the red book. Again, this is another button just to get to that free claim thing that I already showed you in the Matham house. All right, and here is the leaderboards where you can see where you're at in production and your fellowship is. Okay, personal production versus all the fellowships of the server. And this little arrow here opens and shuts those extra ones to kind of get them out of your way. So, we did it. It's about double the time I said at the beginning of the video, but we did it. That's pretty much it. Again, you can click on your base. You can go enter your base just like before. The apothecary, the main hall. You can see your merit, your lands, your everything, where you are, that kind of stuff. And then the market is different. There's now this thing. Don't ever click this plus and spend your stuff to upgrade like this. Don't do that. Just purchase stuff with your iron. I mean, your ingots, I should say, your gold or one. Or just purchase with regular resources, which is the way to do it free to play, which is what I've been doing all season. And as you purchase stuff, this line will go up. See how it's going up? And look, now I'm level 20. And you can click directly on this the little thing level here, the weight thing here, right? The market symbol. And you can see what you get as you level up. See, I'm into level 20, so now my trade resource rate is 60% in the barter, which is this button down here that switches. You can switch between resources, right? If your one's too low, you can kind of trade it out for a loss, but you get the other one. And then also your merit store, this is stuff you earn as you go through, as you battle. So you get this for actually fighting in PvP, right, with a merit. And you can go down here and you can actually buy certain things, right? Like I could buy some blue respect and stuff like that, which is kind of cool. And it refreshes on a weekly basis too, I believe. So anyway, that is it. Done. We did it. Thank you to my Patreons for their support. Thank you for watching this whole video. I hope that it helped you out. If you have questions or if you want a guide on those few things I said, I can make a separate guide on, like the map or, you know, the math and respect thing or any of the other ones. Let me know. Hopefully this helped you guys out. I think it's good for new players coming into the game. Find a good fellowship to play with, because it really helps to have a group in this game. It's fun to just take tiles and kind of learn free to play and take tiles yourself, and that's like a mini game in itself. But if you want to get into the big thing where you're fighting massive wars with other people, you really need to be in a fellowship. It really matters in this game, or a guild, right? It's a fellowship. Or in Lord of the Rings Online, it's a kinship. But we also play Lord of the Rings Online on this channel. So don't forget to like and subscribe. We do everything Lord of the Rings here. Subscribing's there. Thanks to the Patreons again. I'll see you in the next episodes of Voice of the Rings. Thank you for watching. And I know I was talking very fast in this episode, but I was trying to get through it as fast as I could. I don't usually talk this fast. So have a good one, my friends. I'll see you in the next one. Stay happy.